cosmetic company slammed over selling what seems to be blackface.
The darkest of blacks would get called out for cultural appropriation if they wore this Youthforia foundation shade.
Does anyone else think that people are being way too sensitive about this whole Youthforia foundation scandal?
By now you should have heard of Youthforia, a Korean-owned beauty brand that went viral for selling what looks like black paint as foundation.
Fiona is the founder and CEO of Youthforia, a clean and sustainable beauty company with skin-friendly ingredients that went viral on TikTok in 2021 for its color-changing blush.
Even though everybody was so upset about this product, it finally served its purpose, as demonstrated by this straw.
The darkest of blacks would get called out for cultural appropriation if they wore this Youthforia foundation shade. This is literally like if a brand put out like a purely orange shade or like a purely yellow shade and was like, here you go, Asians. The blacks of the internet are very upset with Youthforia for releasing this super dark foundation. And I don't wear makeup, but like I'm obsessed with like online beauty scandals and like drama. So like I had to get a bottle for myself. So today, let's put this on my face and see if their criticism is valid. I've always wanted to do makeup reviews, so I'm so excited. It says to put on 2 pumps, so let's see what that does for us. I even bought like an e.l.f. foundation brush. Like I'm taking this very seriously. Okay, so it's very dark, as you can see. Oh, this shade like literally looks offensive so far. It's literally so dark. Let me get closer here so you can really see how freaking dark this foundation is. Fiona Chan, the founder of Youthforia, she really messed up with this, to be honest. I feel like it literally looks like my hair, and I feel like if I put this like in my fade, it could like make my hair look more full. Let me see. Oh my. Okay, so obviously this is like a foundation, not like black face paint. So like the undertones of my own skin are showing, but it's not because the foundation is like good. It's just because I'm extremely orange and yellow. So because the foundation is like somewhat translucent and like opaque, you can kind of see my colors show, but the foundation itself is not that. I'm literally looking in the mirror right now and this foundation looks jet black. Let's keep going. Imagine I do like the Meredith Duxbury foundation challenge with this foundation. I feel like that would look so crazy. I feel like I literally would get in trouble for like blackface at that point. I don't believe that Youthforia created this to like actually be inclusive. I think they literally created this just to be able to say that they have the darkest shade, but like they did not even match this with like any real humans with like real skin. And I like feel bad for Youthforia, but like Fiona desperately needs to like hire like a better like PR person and like product management person. Like, girl, please. This is Youthforia's darkest foundation fully applied on my face. The darkest of blacks would get called out for cultural appropriation if they wore this Youthforia foundation shade. This is literally like if a brand put out like a purely orange shade or like a purely yellow shade and was like, here you go, Asians. Youthforia actually tried to like one-up Fenty by saying like, oh, our darkest shade is actually darker than Fenty's darkest shade, because they know that like Fenty is known for being inclusive. And so they thought that like if they released a shade darker than Fenty's darkest shade, they could be considered like inclusive as well, and they could like be free of like the cancellation that they received like months ago when their darkest shade was like super light. But I got Fenty's darkest shade, and look at how nice this shade actually is. One sec.
Anyway, he goes on to compare Fenty to Youthforia. He's saying all the things that we've already heard before while applying all this foundation on his face like he would be a better case study. Anyway, this is just rage bait content. All his content is like this. He thrives off shock value content and also presents his content as educational. So whenever you try to report him, platforms like YouTube and TikTok just say it is educational content. It may not be exactly what you want to see, but it's still educational content. For some reason, this is acceptable.
I literally feel like James Charles or like Jeffree Star. And I like low-key have always wanted to do this, but like I don't wear makeup, so like there was no reason for me to like wear makeup for a video. But today I was like, yes, a new scandal, I can hop on that. This is real black people skin. This is minstrel show blackface, which is not good. Don't do it. This video is just for demonstration. I don't think Lupita from Us could even like match this shade, to be honest. This was literally so fun, and I completely understand why Black people are like upset at Youthforia.
So this is just pure attention seeking to me. I'm not even going to waste much time on it, but here are a few responses.
Hold the fort. Hold the forts. I'm telling you, bitch. I need Avengers, assemble. Assemble. Hold the fort. That little piss poor apology video he just dropped, not cutting it. Matter of fact, I'm about to record a YouTube video so I can get him up off of there too, because what we're not gonna do, that man is playing in your face. And for that reason alone, an example must be made out of him. It must be. You're apologetic, but the video is still up, sitting at 2.4 million views of you in blackface? No. Black folk, we are one of the largest creators and consumers of entertainment in the US. Your attention is profitable. Your attention makes or breaks careers. And at any moment's notice, should you give enough of a fuck, should you choose, you should be able to pull that rug, pull that attention, pull that visibility from under the foot of non-Black folk who are willing to make a mockery of your pain and your trauma and your struggle. And he needs to feel that. People need to see in real time that there are consequences. There are grave, grave consequences to people who rage bait and farm engagement off of racial discrimination, racial insensitivity. Should we give enough of a fuck? There can be consequences. And so I'm asking you to give a fuck. Continue to unfollow, continue to block, continue to share that video, and we'll check in 24 hours.
The darkest of Blacks would get called out for cultural appropriation. I don't think Lupita from Us could even like match this shade.
Okay, so I'm absolutely sick and tired of other races using Black people for rage bait and viewership. I do not care if TikTok does not push this out, because they proceed to push out this nonsense, which is blackface, because it is demonstration. He's saying all the right things, right? But he proceeds to put the black paint, because it's not even foundation, the black paint on his face. But TikTok leaves it up. Make it make sense. And he proceeds to say the darkest of Blacks, with the hard S, of Blacks, okay, will be called out for cultural appropriation. You know what? I think I had enough. You know, usually I know, don't feed into it. I don't care. Like, this is ridiculous. How much rent do you need? Do you need a spot? Like, is money this tight that you need to be doing this for viewership? Like, and even if you fight me and try and say, oh, he's doing this for educational purposes. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's simply doing it for viewership, especially how he ends the video. Even Lupita from Us can't even match this shade. This is still racism. Like, what are you doing? And the thing is, you're a minority. It's like, what do you... The fact that this crap gets pushed out, is able to stay up on TikTok, is ridiculous.
And then we have the stitch of a stitch of a stitch.
Match this shade.
Okay, so I'm absolutely sick and tired.
Report the page. Just report the page. All this talking ain't even necessary.
I think there's some confusion here, and I want to make myself abundantly clear. I've reported him before I even made the video. Y'all just be yapping. Like, I reported him, okay? I reported his account, and I reported that post. My point was that we should stop ignoring this and be like, hey, this guy needs to be banned because this type of content should not be up. And we can do both things simultaneously. We can block and report people and make a post and say, hey, look out for this. This guy keeps doing this. Please report this account. Like, what's not clicking? And also, the reason that I made the video in the first place, okay, is because TikTok said it does not violate community guidelines. That's what's like, guys, we need to band together. That the point was lost.
Anyway, on a much positive note, some retailers and influencers have since dropped Youthforia. They just don't want to work with them anymore. Now, I'm not saying this to celebrate anybody's downfall, but she messed up the most basic thing. And messed up is really a generous word. You know what I mean, but she could have done better. But she chose not to. And not once, but twice.
I'm back outside. Nigga that made me mad.
These people will play in our faces if we let them. It's really up to us to choose what we allow. Because really,
who's that color?
Does anyone else think that people are being way too sensitive about this whole youthforia foundation scandal? Because like, okay, yes, people asked them to expand their shade range for darker complexion, and in response, they gave us something that's not really suitable for an actual human being. But like at the same time, they've also united the beauty community more than I've seen in years. Like clearly I'm playing y'all Youthforia, but also thank you, Youthforia. Thank you. Thank you for destroying your brands and being another example of how united the younger generations are in today's world. Because obviously it is so insane to put out a product that only contains black pigment, no undertones, and then market it as a foundation. Like this was literally just a slap in the face of dark-skinned people, because dark-skinned people are not just purely black. We know this. But boy, oh boy, I have not seen the beauty community united over a scandal like this in years, darling. Like, this is a shit show for Youthforia, and I don't think they're gonna recover from it. And honestly, period, because I don't know if y'all have noticed, but in today's world, a majority of the younger generations have really been rallying behind minority groups because enough is enough. Minority groups are tired of being fed crumbs and still being expected to feel satisfied from it. You know, this whole Youthforia thing is just a small part and a way bigger picture of young people really coming together.
Last year, when I made my video on why I hate this foundation, tons of people were giving me so much shit in my comments saying that I should be gracious. The thing is, I've actually met the founder. When I met Fiona, I actually appreciated hearing her story, but the one huge red flag that I learned was I don't think they have like an actual team. He really cuts as much costs as much as possible and tries to put as much money into like her formula and mostly the marketing. Put so much emphasis on the marketing of the brand rather than actually their product formulations. Like, I genuinely don't think she has a proper product developer, because the last time I talked to her, she had 2 people. It was her and I think someone who runs like PR and social media or influencers. I completely stopped supporting this brand when they first launched the foundation. I unfollowed them. I unfollowed Fiona. It was obviously clear to me that they don't give a shit about their audience. Especially what's really funny is they are targeting Gen Z. Gen Z cares about inclusivity, so Fiona was actually smart about it. She would have hired a true product developer, or at least sent the lab samples to people of color or people with a deeper skin tone to receive feedback for. Releasing a black foundation is unacceptable. Even my shade range is literally looks like peanut butter. She needs to hire a proper product developer and learn about color theory. People fail to realize that beauty is a feeling, it's a social matter and impact. It is not just a business. That is why inclusivity is so important.
This is what I really don't understand. I want to preface by saying I will never understand the experience of someone who is black with really deep, rich skin. When you have a skin color that's close to the gorgeous Gloria, that comes with a lot of issues. And not for you, you have no issue with yourself. You love yourself. It's issues from others. Feeling left out or ignored or like you don't belong, that hurts and that cuts really deep. This is what really bothers me and like really confuses me as well. We are in an age where makeup brands cannot get away with the things that they could have gotten away with in the past. In the world of social media, you don't have to be a big shot influencer to like tell it how it is. I feel like because of social media in the beauty and makeup space specifically, it's not even as an influencer, even if I had no accounts on like anything and I had 0 followers, just me as a beauty lover who spends his hard-earned money on these brands as makeup products. I actually have a voice. Other consumers in the beauty industry, we have a voice. And the thing that confuses me, it's not a new thing. Like beauty influencers or like beauty content creators, like the focus on beauty and social media has been around for almost 10 years. And one thing that I've learned as a beauty content creator, brands are watching everything. You better believe every makeup brand has their eyes like a hawk on everything that's going on in the beauty space, which leads me to believe the fact that they're watching and they're observing and they're aware. I feel like it's safe to assume that, okay, so you're gonna cater to what we want and you're gonna actually listen to our voices and give us what we need. The conversation about inclusivity has been going on for years. Ever since Fenty, like I remember when Fenty came out with 40 foundation shades, everyone was like on high alert, like we have to show up. So when a certain brand gets put under the spotlight and they see the reaction that they've garnered from their shade range, for them to turn around and drop that, I'm like, I'm not being condescending. I'm truly surprised, because at the end of the day, I really don't know what's going on with the brand and what they do. That only translates to me like, oh, you don't care. You just don't care. And I don't mean to be salty. It truly breaks my heart, because we really should be over this by now. And I remember commenting on one of Youthforia's videos when I saw people using it, people who had a shade, actually did not look bad. So I commented like, I'm excited to like try this out. Like I was willing to buy this with my own money. But then I heard that the founder came out and said that they're going to try to extend their shade range. So I'm like, okay, wait, I'll see what you do and then I'll decide. And then they delivered what they delivered. Once again, this video, I really don't mean it to like propel even more hate and negativity towards any brand, because at the end of the day, if a brand shows you that they don't really care, it is disappointing. I keep a memo, then I keep it pushing. All I can think about and all that's going through my head when I saw this like roll out, I'm like, why? Are you asking for a PR nightmare? I really don't know. I wish them the best of luck. It seems very 10 steps backwards, but you never know. There are brands that have messed up tremendously and they've recovered. What I mean by that is specifically how it comes to shade ranges within their complexion category. I made a video about this last year and I'm like, you know what? Complexion product development is a nightmare. It's difficult. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is truly a nightmare and so expensive and so difficult. On a more positive note, I love what's going on right now in the beauty community. We're talking to one another. We're engaging with each other's content. We're supporting each other. Minus the palpable frustration that's going on in the beauty space right now. And it's not just influencers, it's cosmetic chemists, it's product developers, it's so many people from different sides of beauty. I think it's beautiful. I really hope that we continue to talk to one another just like we are right now and continue to advocate for change in the beauty community, for these makeup brands to actually listen to us.
We need to stop investing in these founders. And I believe that they've received in the realm of $400,000. Well, that was a fucking waste. Meanwhile, our black founders are struggling, less than a 0.1% struggling to get funds for their beauty ventures and really just any venture. And with that in mind, why are black founders so important within this conversation? Because let's be honest, black people make the best foundation shades for black people. Rihanna of Fenty, and then Danessa Myricks of Danessa Myricks. The girlies are telling me that brands are profiteering off black rage. If that is the case here, that is absolutely fucking sick. The entire brand needs to be thrown in the bin.
We got white, light, bright, Sprite, fair, air, all the way caramel, black. Every day I'm ashamed.
Here's the published swatch of Rin Beauty Starkey shade. It's dark, but it's clearly still brown, dark brown, with multiple undertones going on here, compared to Youthforias, which is just black, grayish black. It lacks depth or any semblance of being natural looking. And I've seen folks mention NYX as well, but it's also dark brown, not black. As I've said before, black is a terrible color to mix with.
To that lady who made that paint and put it in that bottle and told y'all here to get y'all to shut up. I'm not understanding why are y'all trying to be included so bad. They keep telling y'all they don't want y'all a part of what they trying to create. You all do not exist in their world. But if y'all keep on begging, they gonna give y'all exactly how they see y'all as. Getting it? Is it clicking? Is it clicking, Steven? That's why you're supposed to FUBU. For us, by us. Buy it from us.
While I do agree with everything she just said, there's also the aspect of these people continuously using us while giving us breadcrumbs in the name of inclusivity. Like, just take off those little 2 shares or 3 shares that you put in there for inclusivity's sake and market it towards the people that you truly want to market it towards. Leave us out of it. And can we please, as a collective, agree to go where we are celebrated? Anyway, have a great day.